Member of Parliament Amanza Walton-Desir has said that the situation involving the striking teachers is concerning.
That our children have been out of school for so long, and the government does not seem to care. But I'll be frank, we know that the government doesn't care. But what I had hoped to see was more of our parents and members of the public coming out in support of the teachers.
She said that when teachers go on strike, not only the children are affected.
Households are affected because going to education is more than school. The impact of school on a child's life cannot be overstated. And so when children are out of school, there's a domino effect. There's a domino effect on parents and their employment because, of course, many schools, public schools, they are custodians of the children, guardians of our children during school hours.
Yeah.
She said that when teachers are on strike, parents have to be concerned about accommodation for the children.
The public transportation sector
Yeah.
feels the squeeze
Yeah.
because, of course, that generates income.
Yeah.
Children going to school. And so there are a number of sectors of our society that are touched by this, which is why I expected a bigger outcry. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the reality of what
Perhaps the biggest concern is the learning loss.
the impact is not going to be evident now, but in another 2 years, we'll begin to see the impact of this extended time away from school.
Yeah.
And there are other socio-economic implications as well. Because remember, those who are able to afford it can send their children to private school. It is the poor and working class and those who can't afford to send their children to private school. It is those children who are suffering the most.
The inequality would widen, she said. Ms. Walton-Desir pointed to the contention by Barra Jagdeo that vouchers should be provided to private schools.
Instead of paying our teachers a livable wage. That is all they're asking for, a livable wage. And so he's talking about vouchers for private school. He is insulting our teachers, talking about nobody with 2 CXCs could teach children.
How is that?
The contempt that they have for the ordinary working class Guyanese. Because 2 years ago, our teachers were the best thing out when they helped to weather the COVID storm, when they walked from house to house and delivered materials to children. And now it is almost like, he feels spurned or scorned in some way, and so he's lashing out.
She said that the nation is losing its sense of urgency about these matters. She was critical of Jagdeo's comment about people with 2 and 3 CXC teaching children. She said that he ignored Kwame McCoy's solitary subject. The announcement about vouchers would see a lot of people aligned to the PPP opening private schools.
This is a government that is prepared to undermine the education sector.
Yeah.
To undermine the education sector, to jeopardize the education of our children.
Oh.
At the altar, and to sacrifice it at the altar of getting rich and expediency, so that they have ways and means of legitimate, as it were, ways and means of getting money to their friends, families, and favorites.